Hey guys, I'm Rebecca and I help brands own their voice by using the power of creativity. So starting off, I want this video to be about a very challenging thing that I did for 2025, which is to build my own design studio. And let me tell you, it was nothing like I thought it was gonna be. So if you'll be wanting to take that step in your career and build your own studio, even if it's like a one-person studio, I think you can learn a lot from my own mistakes. So today I'm gonna showcase 3 mistakes that I made so you don't have to go through the same thing again. Through the same thing as me. So the first thing that I wanna point out is that you're not a business owner like someone else would be a business owner. You're your own type of business owner. And if you are a creative, that can mean the way that you see things are very different. And your strengths are different than other people's strengths. And also your weaknesses are different. And it's very much important that you get to know yourself throughout this process. The reason why you might not be getting enough clients is because you don't see yourself as a business yet. So I have a lot to teach about it because I've been building my own design studio throughout this year, and I've been getting more and more projects as well as bigger clients and navigating different challenges now. And pretty much I think I can put out content so you don't have to go through the same mistakes that I did. So here are 3 mistakes for you to watch out for and hopefully learn from my experience as a business owner. So the first thing that I want to point out before we dive in is that you're not just a regular business owner, you are a creative business owner. Having a business, what it can look like for you might be different than for other people, and that's totally okay because your brain is wired different, and that's the best thing. Think about it like this. It's your superpower as a business owner that you're also a creative. So you design a business that's totally unique to you, and the way that you're going to design it is so unique from other people. You're going to see things that they don't see. So take that as your biggest advantage. If you can design a super cool onboarding experience for your clients, you get to do that because you're also a creative. So it's easier for you than it is for someone who's mostly strategic, rational thinking type of person. Use your strengths to your advantage. Remember, only you have your brain. So here's the thing. When I was starting out, I was mostly like an independent designer, brand designer, and everything. So when I started to build my own studio, it was something that happened naturally by hiring more people and showing up online more. So the idea pretty much excited me. But here's the thing. I didn't know all the learning curves that I had to go through to achieve all of that. I thought I meant freedom, creativity, clients who would naturally get my business and everything would be aligned and it would be just stability that would grow over time because I would be able to offer more because now I had a team, now I had collaborators, now I had things that I didn't have before I started to actually take this serious and build a business out of it. But here's the actual truth. The process is way more emotional, way more messy, slower than you think it's going to be. But I don't say that to discourage you because everything is a learning curve, and those things that I said, like freedom, creativity, projects that are on your terms, they are things that are totally possible. You just have to grow into that, And if you enjoy the process, it's not that bad after all, but it's a process. So here are the mistakes that I made so you don't have to go through them. And you can thank me later. First lesson that I really needed to understand is that energy management is a non-negotiable thing for you as a business owner. You have to be very, very careful about how you spend your energy. I didn't realize how much energy it took to run a studio because now you're thinking about finance and you're thinking about leads pipeline, leads flow and sales and website and conversion and social media strategy and content creation and brand message and brand strategy. And I haven't even begun to cover all of the things that go into it. So your energy is going to be stretched thin, especially at the beginning. So you have to be very, very intentional about how you spend your energy. Decision making is key, and that also spends most of your energy. Because it's big decision making now. It feels big at the start, but you get used to it because you start to show up more. And that's actually gonna help you grow. And you're gonna grow in your career that much faster. But you're gonna face new challenges. And by facing new challenges, that can mean that you have to prepare yourself. You have to get ready to be the person that can face those challenges. And eventually you do grow into that. So I want to encourage you as well. So I think a big lesson for me is that energy management is non-negotiable. You need to create time blocks, focus time, like I'm only going to do this type of work, and that can take some time to understand how you even separate, categorize your work by what you're doing. If you're analyzing finance, you have to create a time block for that because it's not a 20-minute task. And for someone with ADHD like me, that's a big struggle, but it's also, I've been improving a lot by facing that challenge. And you have to respect your pauses because decision-making is not something that you can do really stressed and anxious. So you have to respect your pauses. And some problems, like big problems, they take time to solve. And you have to have a clear mind. It might take more than a day, it might take a week, it might take a year. And you have to be patient and you have to not have everything figured out at this moment and trust your path. And that can be really difficult for us creatives, and because we are used to like, I have a task, I have a project, let's get that done. But now you're a business owner, you know? But let me tell you, it's all about energy management and accepting, respecting your pauses, your breaks in your mind and how it works. Second lesson, when things start to get good, and they will, avoid the trap of aggressive growth. This one, you may not think this one is important, but it is. Because once you get bigger clients and you get more people coming in, you want to scale. You want to build more people, like you want to build a bigger team. Even though you didn't want that at the start, you think now more things are possible. But you have to wait and you have to plan and strategize for like big jumps now because there's a team relying on you. So yeah, don't stretch your finances thin. Don't take big risks that you can't afford. That can be your downfall. I know it was almost my downfall and I really love my team and I had to go through very stressful moments of like risks that I made without like being prepared for them. I think taking risks is such a good thing because you're going to get to a place that not everyone gets to because not everyone is ready to take the risk, but now the stakes are higher. So just make sure that you can afford that risk not turning out the way that you expected to. It's pretty simple actually. You don't build a studio by growing fast. You build a studio by growing aligned and training your strategy, creativity, and listening skills. There are probably more skills that go into it, but let's keep it at that for the purpose of this video. The third lesson, and it's such a big lesson for any business, if it's a creative business or whatever type of business. In this case, we're talking about a creative studio business because it's my endeavor, but that can apply to anything, which is taking the time to build a good system now will free you up later. So do the foundational work of building systems that work almost without you if possible, but if you're a very small team, I understand that might not be possible. And that can look like onboarding clients automatically, proposals, team workflows, video edits, how a content comes from an idea to a final piece, what goes into that, clear client journeys that they can know what to expect, content ecosystem so you can grow. But I will say this, bringing more leads if you're not ready to actually turn them into customers, it's not necessarily gonna solve your problem, so you have to look out for that. So it's not about like getting leads all the time, but if you build also a good system to turn them into customers that can run without you, you can be your utmost creative person and focus on the good work that you bring and the difference that you bring to this world. So this is all. Those are like my 3 lessons based on mistakes that I made. And I hope this is helpful for you. And if you want to follow along more of my journey of building my own creative studio or like design lessons, brand designing, branding, and lifestyle, and how I blend all that into a flow of my life that it's super creative and balanced and all that good stuff, I'll have the link in the description so you can join my newsletter. I send out emails sharing my own personal stories and tools that help me, which hopefully can help you too. But this is all for today. Thanks so much for watching.